to obviously hold a press conference ahead of the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers that we are playing tomorrow. United has a chance to go to 35 points and obviously try to go to where they deserve to be. Remember, Newcastle went ahead to win against Aston Villa by 3-1 yesterday, and they're also now at 32 points, meaning that we need to obviously continue to win these games of football, and after winning them, we'll obviously get to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And you can as well put close to 200 likes much on this video. It has been a while since I was last live here. I think I was last live here when we played on Sunday, and today is a Wednesday, meaning that I'm really taking long to obviously come in through and really serve you with vibes after vibes as far as this is concerned. But nevertheless, we are trying to obviously cover it up and really trying to get a live session on a daily basis. I'm really trying to fix up my time and really try to serve you with the best services that you guys need. Ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously promise that his players are really, he's confident of his players to come in through and obviously do the needful. He has talked about Andre Onana, Mason Mount, and very many others. The case of Marcus Rashford, I've gone ahead to reserve it, and I think I'm gonna come back with it in a very well compiled story linking him to PSG to see to it that you guys get to know the best of this. Now, God is great and Allah is great to not so. So let's obviously exalt them to the maximum. Now, Ten Hag was first asked about team news for Wolves. He said Mason Mount is too soon, but Andre Onana will return. As I told you in the match preview, that Andre Onana is going to return for the club of Man United to play against the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux. That is tomorrow, and we all know that he had to obviously go ahead and really be part of the United side if at all Cameroon was knocked out. And if they are not knocked out, I believe he wouldn't have gone ahead to obviously play any part into this game, because Ben Dayer had gone ahead obviously put in a very good performance and would have gone ahead obviously get going. And most of us were really wanting him to stay there for like one more week and see how this guy Ben Dayer is going to really act when we are playing against huge sides like Wolverhampton Wanderers. But we all know the quality of Ben Dayer, and he's really one of those that is really doing great. And I'm having John Evans. How are you? I'm doing great. How about you? Thank you for being the early bird, and I think you're gonna catch the worm onto this channel. So let's go to Mason Mount. Ten Hag has gone ahead and said Mason Mount is too soon, but Andre Onana will return. Now, for Mason Mount, I really see this as one of the hugest spells that this guy is gonna have. Last season at Chelsea, he was disturbed by lots of injuries. He has gone ahead to come through at Man United. He really had a very beautiful preseason. You get, after having a very beautiful preseason, that he is the man himself called Mason Mount, and he played only 2 games. He played 1 game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We won it by 1-0, and he played another game against Tottenham Hotspur, and he was out for a month. Being out for a month, he returned and played I think 1 or 2 games, and he got out again. Ever since then, Mason Mount has been an injury-prone player. The first season at Man United has been abysmal for him, and he's working hard to return. And Ten Hag has gone ahead to learn that he shouldn't obviously hurry him back. That is it. He doesn't want to hurry him back. Adepare Opeyemi, good evening, my brother. He doesn't want to hurry him back, and that is exactly what Ten Hag is all about. He doesn't want to hurry him back. And Mason Mount is really one of those that you'll obviously not doubt, but how is he going to really get into that team when he's not obviously there? I think the only way that he should obviously get himself into the team in goal versus Wolves. I'm just trying to obviously figure out a question here. Who should start? Because I really believe that you guys have your different opinions. And on Ben Dayer and Andre Onana, who should start in between the stitches for the club of Man United? Tell me vote, because I know most of you are really having different opinions over this. But I was still talking about Mason Mount. He's really a player who is really unlucky, and I think it's gonna be hard for him to make it into that team because the time he had to get into that team was when Kobe Menu was really injured. But right now, if at all Ten Hag really has Kobe Menu, Amrabat, and Casemiro plus Eriksson, add on Bruno Fernandes, where is he gonna get into that team? That is the big question. I don't see anywhere this guy is gonna get into the team of Manchester United. So we wait and see how that pans out. But I wish him the best of luck. Let him really recover and get back to where he deserves to be as a player. Because the fact is, for me, I need every player went ahead to sign for fit. Why? The more players you have that are really fit, the more people you really get going, and competition really heightens or quickens at the club of Manchester United. And we want competition everywhere. That's why, if at all you watched the video I did in the morning, I was really very, very, very happy to see to it that Amrabat is back, Casemiro is back, Kobe Menu is available, Eriksson is available, you know. Now, Scott McTominay is there. I want to see how competition gets these players to different levels where they deserve to be. So, that's why I'm happy about all those players returning at the club of Man United. But Mason Mount, I think he's really a guy that is really having a bad luck. And I think Manchester United as a team should always look through the players that are going to hate to be having serious injuries the previous season, and why would we go for them? How could we go ahead and play £60 million for a player who had almost the entire season injured? How could we do that? You know, which team does that? Manchester City did it on Ika Gundogan, but they got him in as, I think, as a free agent. That's why they did it. But at Man United, that's where you find people who come in through and obviously go in for a player who is really injured, who was really injured the previous season, and they pay huge monies for him. Rasmus Højlund had a back injury. Amrabat had a back injury too. So we've been culprits of this. So I need to see a team of United going to pay huge monies for players who are really having good records when it comes to their injury records. So we wait and see how that pans out, but it really resonates with what we are thinking about Mason Mount this season. I think he's off, and we just have to see to it that he gets himself into next season. But will Omar Berradi and the new sporting director plus head of recruitment plus the CEOs allow him to get into the team? Because it's really very challenging to have him at the club of Man United, yet we are having a person who is in charge of the club and doesn't want to give chances like that. Then we go to Erik Ten Hag on returning players and what he expects them to do for the club of Man United. He has said some need match rhythm, but the line into the game is quite good. They had a friendly, now a cup game, and now you go into the Premier League game. We have to get the best out of it, and this team has so much experience. They know that. I'm quite positive now we have our players back. The friendly they had, they played against Bristol City, and Bristol City beat us by 3-1. Anthony was on target, and by the way, I was not shocked when Anthony went ahead to score against the side of Newport, because it looks like he was really in shape, and Ten Hag really went ahead to obviously put him on the field of play, and this guy never went ahead to disappoint the manager who went ahead to put him on the field of play. So for Erik Ten Hag, I believe that he's gonna really enjoy this 100%, and I believe nothing is gonna really stop him from obviously getting to where he deserves to be. But these players who have gone ahead to return, if we look through them, you talk about Anthony getting a goal and an assist in that game, and tomorrow should be one of those games that Antonio should obviously continue to orchestrate exactly what he did to Newport. But the big question is, at Newport, he couldn't go past any defender, and Newport is a League 2 team. You know, I think like a 4th division tier team. So is he gonna obviously go past Nuri, you know, the Algerian left back? All that and more into the game of football tomorrow, and we'll be here to reveal to you exactly what is going to happen into that mix. Casemiro came back. I think had a very beautiful game for me, though I've gone ahead to see people coming out and dissing him, but people are just having agendas to paint onto this guy. Last season, he was to me, he was the best player at the club of Man United, though Lisandro Martinez couldn't obviously not be the one, but people went ahead to vote for Marcus Rashford because of the goals, went ahead to score. But I think it was Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez that went ahead, obviously, act as a Spain. Even Rafael Varane, to me, had a better output at the club of Man United. So, Casemiro had a very good game, and I think in the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers, with Kobe Mainoo into that mid-tower pivot, is really very important to obviously get him on. Which other player returned? Amad Diallo. He never came in, he was on the bench. So, we wait and see how Ten Hag is going to really handle that. But he's really expectant that the 2 games that they played, 1, the friendly, 2 against Newport, are going to give them a very huge rhythm to obviously face out the side of, what's the name? The side of Wolverhampton Wanderers tomorrow. Let's see close to 50 likes much on this video. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Then Ten Hag said that everyone in the squad is very convinced about this. They know players are coming back from long-term injuries and the team will be stronger. It helps the motivation and it helps the mood and the spirit of the team. So Ten Hag is confirming to us that all what is going to hate to happen in the club of Man United is really in good spirit. That we never had our players at the beginning of the season and the first half of the season. We were really battling huge injuries, but right now players are back. Only Malacia, Lindelof, Mason Mount, Anton Martial are out. Sorry. The rest of the players are in. I had forgotten to talk about Harry Maguire. He's also back, but I think he's going to struggle to get into that central defense of Man United, provided Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez are going to be fit, and Evans, because you saw that even Kambuala got on the pitch faster than Harry Maguire. So it's really one of those moments that you really understand. And he says the spirit of the team is really high, and we are in a good mood to face that side of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we're gonna cause havoc by beating them hands down. Then Ten Hag said, we know we have to catch up. First place. Players know that. The team will be stronger when you miss players in crucial positions. It weakens your system. When you have to swap every game, it doesn't help the routines, and we have seen some misunderstandings, but now it's keeping the players fit. Second, it's to get into better form, and the third, when we get the results, will be better. Now, you know, I really watch a lot of pundits all over the world. I read lots of stories and columns written by pundits, but there is one thing people are going to hate to accuse Erik Ten Hag about, that he's a tinkerman. And I asked them, how do you expect a manager not to be a tinkerman when his starting 11 that he really fancies has close to 6-7 players out? This season, Lisandro Martinez has been away, Luke Shaw has been away, Casemiro has been away, you get Varane has been away, who else? Anthony has been having problems, you know. So out of the 11 players that Ten Hag wanted to obviously start in his team, 6-7 out of those have been injury prone. So he had to tinker around, and even those that really came in through to obviously show up had some knocks, and they missed out on certain games. Amrabat had knocks in there for you know, others were injured, the Martials, Rasmus Hojlund also came in when he's injured, so he couldn't get his first team onto the pitch every time. But trust me, as you saw United lineup against Newport, I don't see very many changes in that team. I know Andre Onana is going to be in goal. Dallo is going to be played at the right back. Left back Luke Shaw. Left side of the central defense Lisandro Martinez. Right side of the central defense Varane, Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo. But we might see maybe an Eriksson coming in through to play into that midfield. Then Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho. I don't think Rashford is going to start. So if he's to make a change in that game, I'm seeing a change of I'm seeing a change of what is that guy? Kobe Menu for Ericsson. That's the only change I'm going to see. I'm expecting to see into that team. But the rest of the team, if at all those players are fit, he's only gonna make one change. And we need that consistency. You need your first 11 to obviously get to the rhythm. If they continue to play together for a very long time, then magic will happen, because they'll read themselves like a book and nothing is going to stop them from obviously excelling and getting to the levels of performances that will yield results for the club of Manchester United. So Ten Hag is right on that, and let's wait and see how this club is going to perform in the remaining half of the season. Remember, we've gone ahead to play 22 games. We are having 32 points, and we are left with 17 games. 17 games times 3, that is 51 points. So out of 51 points, do you know how many we need? We need close to 43, meaning that we only have an allowance to drop 8. If we get 43, we will be into the top 4 and we'll qualify for the Champions League. That means we will have to do one thing: get more points than those we got into the first half of the season, and that is very possible for this club. With these players available and Rasmus Højlund getting on the score sheet every time. In the previous games, I think I was going to hit to score 3, and he has 1 assist. 4 games, 4 goal contributions. What a very huge improvement for Rasmus Højlund, and I know he's going to really score more and more and more. Then Ten Hag was asked about the team spirit, and this was his intake. He said, "We are quite confident and on our best days we can beat anyone. On our worst days we go down to certain limits of what is not acceptable, so we have to push our limits to high levels, and our worst days get our results in." So it's not that every time you're going to win the game of football you're going to win it well, all beautifully. That is it. And that's why I saw fans of United coming in my inbox complaining, "Rokani, how can we obviously not really have a style of play and possess everything when you're really playing against Newport?" I asked him, "Do you believe that United had total control of the game?" He said yes. Then Ten Hag told you at the beginning of the season that he's going to play what we call a game of football that puts United to be the best transitional team. So United wants to transit in the final third, like they want to be proactive and hit teams on the break. That's the game of Erik Ten Hag. It's all about quick passing and really scoring goals. That's the plan of Erik Ten Hag, and you saw to it that first goal, same blueprint. Second goal, same blueprint. Third goal, same blueprint. And the fourth goal, they press you, you lose the ball, and they obviously do quick passes to see to it that they capitalize onto the pace of their forwards to really break any team down. That's the plan of Erik Ten Hag. And I'm really asking myself, why should people obviously come in here and obviously blame this man? The man has already gone ahead to let you know that all he needs is a best transitional team, and we don't know what style of football is going to be coaching next season, because coaches change, and the CEO will come in and maybe tell him that we need a different kind of player altogether. So as it stands, we wait and see how this pans out, but it's really very important to note that Manchester United is really doing the needful to see to it that we get this win of Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's really very important to note that we can win our next fixtures. 4 of them, I think we can win them. With the team that we have, you have no reason to let me know that we cannot beat Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home tomorrow. Sunday, West Ham, we have to beat them. Aston Villa away from home. Newcastle, that is having a depleted side, without a striker, because even Alexandre Isak got an injury. We went ahead to beat Aston Villa by 3-1. Why can't we beat them? Luton Town, 18th February. Fulham. We have to beat these teams. Fulham, Aston Villa, Luton Town, West Ham, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. If you are Man United, before you play Manchester City on the 3rd of March, we should go on a good run of 5 wins in a row, plus that of the FA Cup. So we are gonna really be playing the winner between Bristol City and Nottingham Forest, meaning that All we need is to get these 6 wins in our bag. Wolverhampton Wanderers tomorrow, it should be the first team that we should obviously go ahead and obviously put our hands on to beat. Beating it thoroughly, and they should get to know that we are not for jokes. Over the weekend, West Ham coming in through at Old Trafford, let them fall into the trap. Then Aston Villa, Luton Town, Fulham, the FA Cup game. And then, as we face Manchester City, we would have gone ahead to collect 15 points. Add them onto the 32. Those will be 47 points. With the squad we have, I don't see us not winning these games. And if at all we don't win them, I'm really going to be furious, because these are games that you should win. If you don't win them, then who are you going to beat? Manchester City, away from home, even if we lose that game after collecting 15 points out of possible 18, that will be very important, because after Man City game, we'll have to play Everton at Old Trafford, Sheffield at Old Trafford, Brentford at Old Trafford, then Chelsea and Liverpool. Those are going to be more 5 games. Out of those 5, even if you lose to Chelsea, beat Liverpool at Old Trafford, beat Brentford away, beat Everton, and beat Sheffield. So those will be more 12 points in. That's what we have to do, All we have to do is to see to it that we only lose 8 points. 8 points, those are 2 losses and 1 draw. Well, that is it. If we are to make it to the top 4 this season, because we need to really do the needful. Why should we do that? Because we are going to be playing just 1 game is a week, So we are only in 2 trophies, the FA Cup and the Premier League. And no team should obviously stop or act as a blocking factor into our way. Then I'm having Fred Kabaya, Onana should start. Webi Siwale, we are winning this game of football. I do believe you are going to win. It's not going to be an easy one, that is it, because this side can attack you left, right, and center, but I believe we are going to beat them. Christopher Enoch, Onana on the bench. That's what he's saying. I also believe that a lot is going to happen, but we should obviously do the need. Let me end this poll. 13 people have gone ahead to vote in, and let me see exactly what your thoughts are about this. And 61% have gone ahead to vote in for Bendeir. 38% have gone ahead to vote in for Andrew Onana. So it looks like there is a very huge shift of people who watching this channel that don't want to see Andrew Onana coming in through to obviously start in between the stitches of United as we face Wolverhampton Wanderers. But sorry, my mates, however much you've gone ahead to vote like that, Ten Hag is gonna put Andrew Onana back in the stitches. The only way it's gonna not happen like that, unless Andrew Onana gets an injury. That's when Bendeir will come in through. But I think Bendeir is gonna have a lot of playing time next season. Next season, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, he'll obviously find himself being played into those games. And I think Ten Hag made a very huge mistake. Bendeir would have gone ahead to play into the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and see how things are going to pan out. Even when we played Wigan, Ten Hag used Andrew Onana to play into that goal of Man United. Yet, it was really uncalled for, according to me. So, guys, what are your thoughts about Ten Hag, Wolves Presser Digest? He went ahead to say about that, and what do you make about it? Who do you think should start in goal? I've gone ahead to put that poll outside there, and you guys have gone ahead to enjoy it. That's what I had for you. Thank you, my brothers, for watching through. John Evans, Adepade Opeyemi, Fred Kabaya, Siwale, Christopher Enoch. Thank you for watching in through, and continue to subscribe to this channel because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers, right? This is the end of the month, and I know tomorrow is the 1st of February. However much we're not going to hit to obviously hit a milestone, we continue to really drive and drive and drive and drive and drive and drive. Oyika, Moses, bro, I want to see Bendeir start. Guys, United fans are obsessed with Bendeir to start and obviously play the beautiful game of football for the club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much. I promise that on a day we'll be having a live session, guys. I promise. And I feel like I want to fulfill this promise, and I want it to go down into your heads that we can obviously do the needful for the club of Manchester United. So I think that's what we've gone ahead to have for you. That's what Ten Hag went ahead to say about everything. And I would like to let you know that Facundo Pelestri is in Granada today, together with his agents who are already in Spain in order to undergo his medical test contract to be signed in the afternoon. Pelestri will join from Man United. That is Fabrizio Romano confirmed with us that Facundo Pelestri has gone ahead to accomplish his move to Granada, and it's a here we go. So expect that to happen. Is there anyone who is really gonna do the needful, you know, to say to it that he stays? We wait and see how that happens, but here we go has been sounded. So which other stories? Rashford has been fined 2 weeks wages, approximately to £65,000, you know. Then because of his trip to North Ireland, which began on Wednesday and ended on Friday morning when he flew back to Manchester via private jet at 7 a.m. Very bad for Marcus Rashford. That is understood that some of Rashford's mighty teammates are disappointed about him. That has been rectified, and Hag has told us that nothing is really bad with Erik ten Hag. Everything has gone ahead to obviously do the needful. So that's what we've had for you here onto this channel. Hope you guys are really ready to see to it that you really go into the comment section and tell us what everyone should be talking about. I'm having someone else here before I sign out. He's called Oyika Moses. No Scott in the pitch. Obviously, Ten Hag will be calling a sack for himself if at all he starts Scott McTominay anymore in any game. You get? If he starts this guy in any game, Ten Hag will be calling for a sack. He'll be sacking himself. Because if you're having Casemiro, Kobe Menu, Amrabat, Eriksson, that means even if you want to play him in the double pivot, he's a fifth fiddle player. And those 4 players are really miles ahead of him. And there is no way he can go past all those players. I don't see Casemiro getting injured again. I don't see Eriksson getting injured again. I don't see Kobe Menu getting injured and Amrabat. Meaning that there is no way for him to get into that starting level for the club of Man United. And he should be one of those players that the CEO of Man United should come in through and say, we are selling you. If this CEO of Man United has been at Chelsea, sorry, has been at Man City, and he knows exactly what quality should be at the club of Man United, because he's the one who really got in the likes of Rodri, Erling Haaland, and very many others at the club of Manchester City. That means he knows the quality. He has been into the meetings of the quality of players that are being targeted by Manchester City, and he knows which players they're really looking at, because Man City makes a list of 5 players. So he knows those that they've not gone ahead to bring in through that can come in through and fit in the system for Erik ten Hag like a glove, to say to it that the likes of Scott McTominay leave. If I'm Manchester United, I sell Scott McTominay for £30 million. You know, I sell Harry Maguire for £30 million. That is £60 million. I sell, which other player do I sell? I sell Aaron Bissaka for £30 million. That is £90 million. Hannibal, £20 million. You get? That is £110 million. Which other player we can sell? You know, we need a clear out. We need a clear out of like 7 players to raise close to £130 million. Then you really get in players that can really get the job done and dusted. That is it. So Scott McTominay should be one of those players that shouldn't even be coming off the bench to play, because we are having 4 players ahead of him in as far as form is concerned and talent. So this is when Ten Hag is going to show us that this guy is not a player to come in through and really play for us. But we all know that he couldn't obviously get near the starting 11 when the players were really fully fit. He only came in through when the players really got injured. But the goals he scored might have gone ahead to change the mind of Erik ten Hag, but this time round, I don't think it makes any sense. It's high time we got him out. Get sales close to £120 million from players. After getting those sales, what we do, we get in quality players. Then Nick Promoter Happy to be here, already. Thanks for the show. All right, thank you very much for watching through. Then Nick Promoter, is Greenwood coming back? And review new signings, please, from Kasese Buera. That's which new signings they're talking about. We are not going to make any new signings, guys. Don't expect any signing to come in through, though. I'm gonna hate to see stories of Karim Benzema, but I don't see it happening. You know, Braithwaite, formerly at Barcelona, is also being linked to Man United. But for Mason Greenwood, I think a decision is going to be taken by the club of Man United after this season ends. That's when they'll make an internal decision. And by the way, if they decide to sell Mason Greenwood, trust me, there is close to £50 million in him. But if a Man United, as I've always told you, I don't sell Mason Greenwood. I extend his contract, I double his salary, and loan him to a better club. From a team like, I loan him to a team like, which other team? I loan him to a team like, not Getafe. I get him a team like Real Sociedad. That is it. You know? And until he reaches £120 million player. Trust me, he's just 22 years of age. If he plays very well this season, as gonna hate to do, he even scored a goal, I think, yesterday when Getafe won by 2-0. So he's really performing very well, meaning that if he gets another season on loan, he can be a player who costs £100 million. And the only move you're supposed to do is, if you have to loan him out next season, he should be playing in the Champions League. When he plays the Champions League and scores goals in the league, done and dusted deal. So that is it for Mason Greenwood. A decision is going to be taken after the season has going to end in the La Liga. Towards the end of May, that's when a decision is going to be taken. Guys, I'm out. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I hope I'm gonna hit to tamper onto everything, and you guys are really okay. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, the Christians, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. We out. I'm gonna go on to the Rokani Media Football at exactly 10 p.m. to obviously bring you the confirmed team news of Liverpool.